I am not being overdramatic when I say there is a crisis coming. If you felt even a whisper of becoming a death doula, this is your sign. We need you now. Now, the reason why I'm saying it is because baby boomers are aging, our systems are cracking, and our care workers are maxed out. Not to mention the families who are burning out as well. And not to be morbid, but death is not slowing down. Now, in this video, I'm going to give you 3 undeniable reasons why this work matters now more than ever, and why you might be the one that we've been waiting for. Now, real quick, hi, my name is Death Doula Beth, and I didn't always know what a death doula was. It wasn't until I got into training that I saw how big the gap was in the healthcare system. What I mean by that is the gap between what the families need and what the healthcare workers are able to provide. And I saw it more when I was doing my bedside hour requirements for my certification, and I witnessed it firsthand. I saw hospice nurses doing their absolute best. I love my hospice nurses, but they could only stay for as long as they were able to before having to go to the next patient because they have a whole roster of patients they have to go to. Same with home health care. But I saw families slowly burning out, trying to do it all themselves and trying to retain all the information that they were given from the hospice nurses and the doctors and everything that's going on. There's constant caregivers with almost no or little help. So in the beginning of my journey, I was asking, like, who holds space at bedside? Who's supporting the family during this time emotionally and spiritually? And who's holding these moments so they don't feel so terrified and alone? I mean, the answer was almost always no one, or the chaplain. And so that's where death doulas come in. Now, if you've had hospice before, you know that they have social workers and chaplains and volunteers and, a whole lot of support. However, sometimes it just doesn't feel like enough. And especially at the end of life, we need as much support as possible. From my experience, I feel like there's no such thing as too much support. I mean, this is a highly emotional experience for the families and the person who's dying. So why wouldn't we support our people even more? So this all brings me back to the elder care crisis that we're seeing. Right now, we are watching a slow motion train wreck, I feel. Now, our baby boomers are aging in large numbers. There's 70 plus million in the United States alone. 70 plus million. That's a lot of people. Now, what I've seen is that the healthcare systems are maxed out. The nursing homes, the home care centers, the hospitals, and the systems are cracking because workers are exhausted. They're being maxed out on hours and time and patience, and it's just a lot that they have to handle. And then you have families who are overwhelmed because their loved one is going through this really, really difficult process. So this is what I mean by there's the gap. And when I saw the gap, I can't unsee it. Now, death doulas help fill the gap, but remember, death doulas are non-medical professionals. We are the ones who help bring calm, clarity, and care into a system that's already burning out. So that's your reason number one. There's a huge need out there. 70 plus million US citizens who are going to be needing care. This is not counting worldwide. But if you are in the United States, here's reason number two. We are death illiterate in the United States. Yes, I feel like we're divorced from the word and the experience of death and dying. Now, what I've seen us do in America specifically is we medicalize it. And what we do is we end up spending way more money at the end of life care than almost anywhere else. Now, there are really wonderful hospice houses that are popping up all over the place that I think is just wonderful. This movement is so needed. Any death healthcare worker or death care worker is needed. So you are needed in this space. But ultimately, talking about death and dying saves money. It reduces unnecessary treatments and hospitalizations and even legal messes. Ooh, editing cut. Listen, we are not here to make any healthcare decisions for anyone. So I want to make that very, very clear. As I was looking through the footage, I was like, oh no, I completely forgot to talk about pre-planning for the death nest and also for after someone dies. So as a death doula, pre-planning isn't just about the deathbed or sitting vigil. It also includes doing all the comprehensive things surrounding end of life so that you can have a conversation and get them prepared to have these conversations with not only the medical team, but with the funeral directors, if you choose to go that route, and with, the family members who are going to be involved in the aftercare and the next steps of someone's journey. So when I talk about pre-planning, it's about having all these things in motion so that the client feels very supported in their end of care and end of life journey. Okay, now back to the video. So very specifically, death doulas help families plan ahead. We also help with the emotional process, and we help you navigate what's coming. Now, this is not to say that death doulas are replacing anyone in this space. We are there specifically to help support the person and the families. And we do this without trauma, without shame, or last-minute chaos. Hopefully, if we're called in time. And in this economy, people are looking for support that's effective. And death doulas can provide real support and real value at a fraction of the crisis cost. That's the unfortunate part of all this, is that if you wait until the last minute or until there's an emergency or a chaotic experience, you're probably going to be paying more because you're not thinking straight and there's just a lot of parts moving around. So talk to a death doula. Now, the third reason you feel the call. Simple as that. You felt it. You have that tug. You have that inner knowing, that whisper that says, this is the work that you were born to do. Let's do it, honey. Maybe this calling has come to you after you've sat with someone who is dying. Maybe you're the one that has been the calm when everyone is chaotic, when someone passes. Or maybe you just feel the calling and there's no explanation. You just know that this is the work that you're meant to do. Either way, it's important to listen to it. Yes, this work is hard. It is also very sacred and meaningful and urgently needed. So if you're waiting for that sign, here's sign number 2. Now, there's no pre-requirements in order to be a death doula. I can tell you firsthand, before I decided to become a death doula, I have only experienced 2 deaths. And then I did a whole lot of research after that second death to then learn about what a death doula was and feel that calling deep down inside. And if you're still not sure where to begin, because there's a lot of trainings out there, the video, there it is, will be there where I talk through about how to find the best training. Now, look, I'm not trying to be cold here, but the truth is, people still die during recessions. Death doesn't follow the market when it's good or bad. It happens. And families need support no matter what's happening in the economy. So if you want to find work that's meaningful, that's flexible, and that offers real service and sustainable income, this is it. So if your soul is stirring right now, you gotta listen to it. So if you're still on the fence, go look at the other video where I talk about the different trainings that are out there. Or if this is your vibe, we should talk. Book a clarity call with me. Now, if you're curious and you want to know the questions that I ask my clients when I do pre-planning sessions with them, you can grab my conscious death checklist in my newsletter. Now, if you made it this far, drop me a sun emoji. And if you're planning to be a death doula, drop me your favorite flower emoji. I want to see how many of you are out there. So until next time, be good to yourself. Bye for now.